Aloha friends, this video I will focus on reinforcing the bridge corners and adding side markers. I've decided to call him Lucky because initially I purchased it for the purpose of repair tutorials, but it has such an amazing sound and playing ability that I've decided to keep him. I found a few other things that need to be worked on. So that means that you will see Lucky more on the other videos. Alright, I found that there is a buzz going on around here, and that's because two of these frets are a lot higher than the others, but it's only on that corner. And if you take a rubber hammer and try to hit them down, it's going to just lift everything up from the other corners, and you're going to make everything worse. So you can hear the sound. That's starting to buzz, and there's the buzz. Everything else is good. Everything across the border is beautiful on it. So let's get started. So what I did was I took a white pencil and I went from the middle of the fret to the side, and I did that on the 3rd, 5th, 7th, 10th, 12th. So it looks something like that. That could be erased later on. And then what I do is I take white nail polish and I just put a little dot on the side very carefully. Make sure you clean the excess off. So you just want the end, and you just very lightly just put a dot. 1 dot, 2 dots. Dots. Dot. And there you have the dots. Now we're going to let that dry a little bit. And then after you let it dry a little bit, you're going to use the clear nail polish. I bought the super dry. And then you're just gonna swipe over those little white marks so they don't come off, rub off when you're playing. So let's see if it's dry. It's gonna need a few more minutes, maybe another minute. And then we're gonna go right over it with some of this. And again, you wanna make sure you don't have too much. It's on the side fret mark, on the side of the fretboard, so it's not going to do any damage to it. And you just simply, let me get these. You are just simply going to wipe it. Swipe. Swipe. Swipe and swipe. I'm sure you close these so they don't dry up. And voila! Lucky has side markers. Okay, we'll let that dry. And I noticed that on this side of the bridge under here, the paper is going into the corner. We do not want that. There you go. You can see it going into the corner. You can actually see the paper goes in. And a little bit on this corner. It's not a big repair, but you do not want to let that go because you have tension on the strings. And when you have the tension on the strings, humidity, air goes into there, and over a period of time, its moisture starts to develop in there, and it starts to lift up the bridge. So the glue starts to separate from the actual wood of the bridge on the instrument. So you can tell, especially on this side here, that the corners are starting to lift a little. So we're going to take care of that. Okay, so we'll take Carpenter's wood glue, put a dab on a piece of paper like so, and then close that up so that you don't let it dry. Wipe off your hand. Piece of paper. That piece of paper you're going to use to drive the glue into the corners. So you're going to drive as much glue into the corners as possible. Do the same thing on the other side. Well, this side is not too bad, but we don't want to. And then maybe a little bit here. All right, now we're going to clean that off with a wet thingy here. You're going to go around it. Push that glue even more further in. Same thing here. Make sure there's glue in there. And if you need to do that again, you can. Add a little bit more glue underneath. You're going to need to see some of that glue ooze out when you put the clamps on. Okay. And this. Clean that off. Make sure there's glue in there. Oh, yep, there's plenty of glue in there on the corners. Now, I made this to protect the back of the instrument. This is made out of foam. You put it on the back of the instrument. Always protect your instrument, no matter how expensive or how cheap it is. You want to protect the instrument at all times. So we're going to take this piece of wood and put it on here like so. And well, these are the only clamps I have. I have to get smaller clamps. You bring the clamp over carefully and you start turning until you hit the wood, and then you just want to tighten it lightly. If you hear a crack, stop. You just want to put enough pressure on there so that the glue dries properly. I think there's enough pressure on that. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. Put the block of wood. Bring it so that it's as close to the edge as possible where you need to glue down, and you just turn. I might just want to move this one down a little bit because that's where the biggest problem is. So I'm just going to move this one down just a little bit. Oops, I heard something that was not too good. Okay, so here we go. So now you see the glue is oozing out of the corners. You want to clean that off again with an ear cleaner. Make sure that you get all the glue out of the corners. I hope I didn't damage it when it cricked. To get into the corners. I may loosen it a little bit because I heard a crick. Could have been from the bottom here also. But here you have it, folks. All right, so we're gonna let that settle and we'll be back to check it. In the meantime, I'm gonna loosen up those strings. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more ukulele tips and info. Till the next one. Aloha.